Okay, hey guys. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down Script A, but more so how to use the script and how to go through it. So one thing Randall mentioned the other day was keep it simple. And so we have four different scripts. We have A, B, C, and D. They're all almost identical. They're all the same exact script. The difference is the scripts are divvied up by a person and their specific problems, because we already know what their problems are by looking at their sheets. And so the best way I feel to close them is to use the specific scripts that are specifically to the problems we can almost guarantee they're having. And we're going to pull out the rest of their problems when we're talking to them on the call. But I can guarantee these are the problems because I've talked to these people I talk to these people every single day at Hyros. And so Hyros is a very similar pitch or product or market fit to this. And so what happens is when we look at a person's Schedule Once application, we need to go and look at where they're trying to fall at. So for example, Tim right here is doing 20 to 50,000 a month. He's selling e-commerce courses and trying to switch to high ticket. Before you hop in a call, just load up the scripts archive. I have the criteria to define exactly which script to use based on the person. And if we can't tell by this script, we're going to use the first few questions on the call to diagnose who we're talking to. And we can just roll from there. And it should come really naturally over time. And again, the scripts are all very different. So once you understand one script, you get all of them. Okay? There's just different questions on the script. And the close is slightly different. It offers a slightly different product. And that's it. So if we go in here, we're going to look at this, check the criteria. Okay, does the guy have a high ticket product? Yes. Does he have a funnel? Does he have some ad spend over or under 5K? He didn't put no right here. And he makes over 5K a month. Okay, he's script A. And there you go. This is a person that runs ads, is making money, but doesn't have a high ticket product or funnel. So here's the fundamental problem, guys. What we're trying to do right now with our scripts, and the reason why we have different scripts, is because we're going to try and sell this guy the same exact way we're going to sell a guy that already has a high ticket funnel. And that doesn't work because the person who doesn't have a high ticket funnel and product, that's his main pain point. That's his main pain point. And so if we're trying to sell him scale, his problem isn't scale right now. His problem is he doesn't know how to make a high ticket product that's going to scale. Whereas if this guy did have a high ticket product, he falls into A, where his biggest pain is the fact that he can't scale his high ticket product. It's that he can't grow his high ticket product. That's the difference. And so I've outlined these scripts for you so that you can easily just plug and play. If we see a person that comes in here, you can look at their Schedule Once, and all you need to do is load up the script and say, oh, okay, cool, this person is a person that has a high ticket product and a high ticket webinar call funnel and is running ads. So I'm going to use this script on him because he has different pain points than the person that doesn't have a product and a high ticket webinar. Or there's a completely other market out there. For example, script C, which is a person that has a high ticket product but is not running ads. And so that person has a completely different other problem. He has a funnel that he doesn't think will scale, and he doesn't know how to run ads. And so he's not going to feel stuck on ads like script A. He's not going to be looking to scale. He's going to be looking to make ads work in the first place because he hasn't done it yet. And so his pain point is he knows he's missing out on a massive market because he doesn't even know how to run ads. And so we need these four different scripts to talk to these people because they all have four very different specific problems. And if we try and sell them all the same way, then none of them are going to convert. None of them will convert. And so I'm going to start with script A, which is the person we need to be closing every single time. This is a person that has a high ticket product, has a high ticket webinar or a call funnel, and is already running ads. So let's go find an example of this inside of our Schedule Once. Now I'm going to add questions, say, do you already have a high ticket product? Do you already have a high ticket funnel? Okay, and I'm going to add a few more questions that we can diagnose it with, and I'll talk about that in Slack. But let's just go look at it. So boom, Chris Cawley right here. What does he sell? He makes $50,000 a month. He sells high ticket coaching. He's not really spending that much on paid traffic, but he will go out there and do that. So he's already running ads. So what we want to do on the call is we want to confirm that he's running ads or he's not running ads. So he's spending less than $5,000 a month, but this person right here is target A. This guy's making $50,000 a month. He's selling the exact product we're showing him how to pitch. He's running ads, but he's stuck on ads. We should close this guy every single time. every single time. And so this is exactly how we would close Chris right here. And we can clearly see exactly who he is based on this. So here's exactly how this script will work. The first thing you're going to want to do when you're running these scripts is create a gain and loss column. Just go over before you do it. You want to set up the numbers we're going to leverage against them, like I talked about in the previous video. So we're going to set up a gain and loss column. We also want to look, what's his revenue goal? Okay, this guy wants to make $250,000 a month. This is great because this is like, if this guy wants to 5x his business, he's probably going to need to do something special. And so at the end of the call, when he's resisting investing in a 5K product that fixes every need he needs to get to this 250K spot right here, it's absolutely ridiculous when you say, dude, you want to get to $250,000 a month. How are you going to do that with payment plans that are completely out of control and using a script that everybody else is doing? Also, I'm just adding this in right now. We also need to look at their current income. 10, 50,000 a month. We're going to use this when we can't agree on a number. So for example, when we're talking about how much they're losing, if we say, oh man, people aren't completing payment plans, that's like 10% of your revenue right there. We can say how much is that costing you? If they won't tell you, say, well, you're making 50,000 right here. 10% is $5,000. So low end 10%, you're losing 5K by default right here. And so we're going to constantly use that as well. And so I wanted to throw this in as a note. How are you going to do that? Okay, and the next thing you're going to want to do is also, there's some notes that I've left you guys on slide 35 and 34. Sometimes you might want to clean up. Okay, you definitely don't want these showing when you load this up for the client. So the next thing you need to do is just recap this. For this type of buyer who is already running ads, already has a high ticket product, already has a webinar, these are the things we need them to believe if we want them to buy. We need them to believe that if they sign up, it's an easy way to instantly make more money from their funnel. So they'll make more money by default, way more than the product cost. We need them to believe if they try Google Ads on their own, they'll lose more money than the product cost. We need them to believe if they simply let me help them tweak their funnel and program for maximum profit, they could easily take their business to this $250K a month, because I've done that easy, no problem. Okay, I spend more money than that in 10 days on ads. And we need to make them believe that if they keep trying to keep testing and experimenting, they're going to lose more money and time every day than if they just got this fix and applied our very specific fixes, which is what the Iron program does. And then this is finally a way to get unstuck. This guy's probably been at 50K a month or wherever he's at right now for a long time. And the fact that he's only spending this much on ads means he's stuck. So if we get him to believe these things, he's going to buy. But these beliefs are so different than everybody else. This is why you need to review this every single time you load up the script. Then what you want to do is you want to review their pain points. The pain point this guy is going to have is this funnel stuck. It's not sustainable. He's not able to run Google Ads. His product isn't selling, period. And he's going to lose tons of time and money testing. That's where he is. He's stuck and cannot scale. This is his big pain point. If we can make him hate this and believe that he has specific problems that only we can solve, we're going to succeed. Pain point 2, fear of missing the Google boom. No, this guy obviously isn't running ads well, period. But if we convince him, hey, dude, one of the reasons you could break through on ads is if you just got on Google Ads because nobody else is there, and make him feel like he's missing out on a gold mine, and make him realize, oh man, I can make so much more money right now if I just got this on Google Ads. If we can really rub this pain point on and make him feel like he's missing out and stuck because he's stuck on Facebook or running ads like everybody else is, we have him. We have him. So let's go through the call slide by slide. Okay, so we're about to start the call. I want to stress that what's in red is what you should do. What's in black is what you should say. Call starts. Hi there. So since you're on this call, I'm assuming you are wanting to scale your product and business, preferably with Google Ads. Let me ask you a few questions first off. You want to confirm that they do have a high ticket product, confirm they have a call or webinar funnel, or confirm the product that they are selling, whether they're selling course, coaching, agency, or a service. Okay? If they do not have a high ticket funnel, swap the pitch B. All right, but this probably isn't going to be the case with Chris. This is going to be people that fill out their form kind of loosely. You want to figure out exactly who you're talking to. Once they've confirmed these things, also confirm as well how much they want to make and how much they are making now. And I would throw in something like ballpark. Never ask for the exact number, just give them a ballpark compound way to give you that. And so use this to create your gain and loss column. So we confirm exactly who they are. Okay, next. Once it's confirmed, can you tell me a little bit what made you get on this call, or a little bit about what got you on this call today? And what we want to do on this is we want to look for any pains that they bring up that give us something to focus on. So we're going to look for these pains, and if there's pains that stick out more than others, that's where we really want to dig in at and how we're going to close them at the end. Okay, so if I'm on a high roast call, for example, and they say, "Man, I just cannot get my attribution right on Facebook, and I can't figure out which traffic source is generating the sale." I know I'm going to focus on showing that part of the software more. If the person says, "Man, I feel like I'm stuck on Facebook," a lot of this pitch is going to be focusing on showing them how they can get unstuck on AdWords. Okay, next we're going to introduce the idea of working together. All right, awesome. So the point of this call is to see what's preventing your business from getting to the next level and give you an idea of how to get into the boom. There's essentially Google Ads right now versus waiting till it's too late. Now, also, if you're a super good fit, Alex is looking for a few people that he calls easy guaranteed testimonials to work with. What that essentially means is that Alex is looking for people whose funnels, whose ads, whose product are in a position right now where if he makes just a few tiny tweaks, it will explode. It will grow. Like those people that you saw on the call, and the results you probably saw on the call leading up to this phone call, where you saw so many people in similar businesses like yours that doubled and tripled their business. Did you see that? And so what we're doing right now is we're introducing the idea of them working with me, but telling them, hey, it's probably not going to happen. I just want to let you know this is something we might talk about a little bit later on. That being said, you did see exactly the results people got. We want to wait for them to say, yeah, I saw the results people got. And if they say, no, I didn't see that, you say, oh, man, well, we can go through the result deck or we can show them results here later in the call that people are getting. But there's plenty of people that are in a business model just like theirs that have 2 to 3x their business. That's exactly how that's going to work. And so what we've done is we've made them say, you know, Alex may want to work with you, he might not, but you've seen the results he gets, right? They're incredible. They say yes. Okay, well, now they're admitting, okay, Alex gets really good results. At this point, we're going to say, awesome, don't worry right now. He's not really accepting many people, and it's only for perfect storm situations. And saying right now, hey, this is a great fit for you, that's not going to make any sense because we need to get down and diagnose exactly why your business isn't able to scale, why you're not able to grow this with your current funnel. So let's begin. At this point, we're going to move into the pain diagnosis. Remember where we're at in the call script. We are right here. We're right here in the pain diagnosis part. Okay, we're at part 1. I'm even going to draw this out so it's really simple to understand. All right, we've gone past the intro. We are now into pain diagnosis, where we're going to bring out their specific needs by using the formatted question. This is how Alex took his webinar to the next level. It was actually through fixing this specific problem. Do you have this specific problem? Oh, you do. That stinks because this specific problem is stopping you from making this much money or losing you this much money. Let's continue. That's the format over and over again. So anyways, I'm going to ask you a few questions to diagnose the best ways to grow here based on what we have seen with Alex's high ticket funnels. Based on your answers on the survey, here's where we think the best place to start is based on looking what Alex has been doing. Pain diagnosis 1. Okay, so first off, what's stopping you from scaling your current funnel? There's a ton of other courses that are very similar to yours, a ton of other coaching programs, a ton of other agencies. Remember what they're selling. They're very similar to yours, so they're scaling, even on Facebook and AdWords. What do you think's stopping yours from scaling? So right now what we did right here, specifically, what's stopping you from scaling to your goal that's in Schedule 1? So we're going to look at that number. All right, this guy wants to make $250,000 a month. Why aren't you doing that? Most are not going to know exactly why, but listen for the key pains. If they talk about any of the key pains we discussed, we can probably hit there. So the first question we're going to ask right now to this type of person is they probably believe their high ticket funnel and webinar is good. It's not. If they're not making over $100,000 a month from it, it's not good. So we want to put them in a place where we're basically their daddy in this instance. It's like, all right, cool. You're working in the amateur leagues. You're in high school right now. Let me show you how we do this in the pro leagues. So first thing we're going to ask them is, hey, all right, what's your exact conversions on the call? They might have this number. And then you just want to keep asking them these questions right here. All right, so what's the webinar attendance rate? Okay, all right, so just say like that's not particularly great. All right, then we're going to ask them some very hard questions. And the answers to these questions are pretty much irrelevant. We're just putting them in a state where we know exactly how their funnel works. What we're going to ask them is, do you know the email delivery rate on your follow-up funnel? Is it on an SMTP server? Guarantee they don't know this. They're just going to say, I don't know, or maybe sort of. And if they ask, if any of this point they ask for help on these things, don't give them help. Just continue to say, look, we need a diagnosis first. All right, say, do you know the exact conversion for a mobile device on this webinar or this sales funnel? And if they don't know any of these things, say, all right, how are you tracking your traffic across multiple devices? I mean, people change devices across your email funnel, across your webinar funnel, across your high ticket funnel. How are you tracking that? They're not going to know any of these things. And when you ask them these questions and they keep having to say, I don't know, they're going to feel like a moron. And they're going to realize that they don't know anything about how to scale their product or their webinar. So we put them in a big pain right now, making them realize, oh shit, I don't know anything about how to grow this. Okay, and you're just going to say, okay, well, I mean, not having any of those things is going to make scaling hard. Let's continue. All right, so let's back up to the basics then. All right, so let's talk about the few things that Alex did on his webinar that really blew things up. So the first thing we did to explode Alex's webinar on AdWords was get it off the rails with a totally unique pitch that really speaks to the specific person coming on. Okay, almost every coach agency or business model that we see is using the same exact pitch. And that doesn't work in a competitive market where your copywriting has to be really good, like AdWords. Are you using a similar pitch to anybody else? They always are. They're always using Russell Brunson or Sam Ovens webinar formats. Just say, are you using a Sam Ovens close or a Russell Brunson webinar format or something like that? They're going to say yes. Or they're going to say, oh, I don't know. No one writes their own copy. No one does. The only people that have ever done it I know are Sam Ovens and myself. Okay? And so you're going to say, all right, that's probably why. Your pitch isn't going to convert if people are seeing the same thing that's working on every single niche, and it's a generic pitch that's meant to fit one size fits all. That's going to hurt your conversions. You need to go out there and you need to have a unique pitch that really speaks to the specific person coming onto your call. If you did that, it would convert, I don't know, 30, 50% more. How much more would you make if you increase your conversions by 50%? And that's not huge. That's just 3% to like 4.5% on your webinar call. If they say, I don't know, whatever, all you need to do is look at their revenue numbers. This is why we wanted to write down their current revenue. Okay, so their current revenue is 50K. Okay, dude, if this increased by, let's say, another $10,000, you're making $50,000 right now. That's pretty reasonable. That's not even 50%. Is that a good estimate of how much more you could make? Yeah, I could make another $10,000 if I did it. Okay, cool. And just put that in the gain column. And so what we also want to do whenever we're doing the gain and loss number is we want to find a number they agree on. Don't be like, oh man, I see you're losing $10,000 a month right here. Say, man, is $10,000 a fair number? All right, like 50% is like 20,000. Could we just cut that in half? Is 10,000 a good number to talk about how much you could potentially gain if you just fix the script? Yeah, that's a good number. Get them to agree on the number always. If they don't agree on the number, find a number that they agree on. And if they say, I don't know, just be like, let's even cut it down. Let's just put 5K. Let's put 5K right here. All right, based on your number right here. So another thing that Alex did to get his funnel to the next level is he got his payment plan completion rates and refund rates to super good levels. So his refunds are very low and his payment plans pay at a very high level. Most people complete their payment plan. In the industry, most people only have about 50% payment plan completion and their refund rates are about 15%. Do you know what yours are? So what we did, we set those baseline numbers because I guarantee they probably don't know. And if they kind of struggle to answer, say, well, I mean, do you know exactly how much, if you have a 5 payment plan on your product, how many people are going to complete that payment plan? And you say, I don't know about this, about that. And you need to keep grilling them and say, wait, no, do you know exactly how much? And eventually they're probably going to say no. If they do know exactly, say, I mean, those numbers are pretty hard to scale with. So you're definitely going to want to look at those. There's no way you're going to scale with only 50% of people completing their payment plans. And if they don't know, say, man, I can just guarantee, if you don't know your numbers, I'm not going to put numbers in your mouth, but it's probably going to be very hard to scale if you don't know these numbers and people aren't completing their payment plans. Can we just admit right now, or can we confirm right now that, look, if we just got your payment plan completions up to, let's say, 80% and your refunds down to 5%, how much more money would you make right now? How much money is that losing you? Well, they're making $50,000 a month. If they're losing 10% to refunds, if they're losing, let's say, 30% in incompleted payment plans, they're easily losing $10,000 to $20,000 right here. So get them to agree on a number and say, oh, okay, cool, $10,000 to $20,000 is what you're losing. That stinks. That's like $240,000 a year just being lit on fire. Anyways, moving on. So finally, we really want to, if they're using Facebook ads, what we want to make them realize is how much money they're losing by testing on Facebook ads. Say, do you feel that being on the overly competitive Facebook ad platform is preventing you from growing? Okay, you know, how long have you been stuck trying to scale ads on Facebook? Just get a number on there. Okay, just how long have you been stuck trying to scale ads to the next level? All right. What does it cost you? What does all this testing / trial and error cost you? Okay, because every time they try and scale, they're losing money. And so ask them if they think, oh, man, every time you try to scale up this offer, you probably lose money because you kill your profit margin. You go and destroy that profit margin of what you're doing, and you go and spend a lot of money, and the CPL goes up. How much does it cost you every single time you try to scale and fail? $1,000, $10,000? And you say, I'm not really sure. I mean, probably at least $1,000, right? They say, yeah. I say, well, I mean, that's probably $10,000, $20,000 a year that you're just losing on testing, low end. And so what I want to do at this point, I'm going to say, look, since we can't get a specific number, is it safe to say that, let's say 15% of your ad spend is wasted just testing new things and trying to scale and not doing it successfully? They say, yeah. I say, well, I mean, look, you said you're spending $5,000 a month over a year. That's $10,000 in just lost ad spend just through testing and testing. That stinks. And I mean, you could scale so much further and make so much more money. But anyways, since we agree on that number, look what we're doing right here. We're just building up this arsenal. Okay, so let's move to pain number 2. Have you tried Google Ads before? What's stopping you from getting there? We want to listen to key pains. Mostly they're usually going to say is, I don't understand it, or I've tried and I've lost money. Those are 2 great ones to play with right there. Okay, so we want to ask them, all right, so with that in mind, how much money is it costing you being there? It's a wide open market. We see businesses similar to yours scaling over there, especially the ones who have copied Alex's ads and funnels and targeting exactly. I mean, we honestly had some guy copy his stuff and get to $400,000 a month, literally copying almost the same product in almost the exact same market. Now, here's the thing. Let's look at your current ad results, your current business. Is it reasonable to say that if we were just able to go over there and set up proper ads, just and get 20% of the results you're already getting, low end, how much more money would you make right now? How much money are you losing not being on AdWords, not even taking a fraction of your business over there? Because it has way more traffic than Facebook does. Find an agreed on number. Okay, so let's play like, dude, what is it costing you not being on AdWords? $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month? Probably $5,000 to $10,000. They're going to say something low end like that. All right, dude, that's a lot of money being left on the table. Now, let's imagine one thing. If you went and were to go and test and do trial and error on AdWords, now, just to get a ballpark, how much money do you think you'd lose through trial and error and testing on AdWords? If you've tried in the past, how much money did you lose? If you tried now, how much money did you lose testing and learning Facebook? They're probably going to say something like $5,000 to $10,000. Nobody comes on Facebook and spends $100 and makes money right away. Okay, cool. So you just lost. You're losing this much right here now too. All right, so this is the point where we go to showing them a solution and diagnosing just how much trouble they're in. So, look, here's the deal. I could do a deep, hippie, envision your dreams session like you've probably seen on other strategy session calls, but the problem here is really cool. Look, if you want to take your business, the key to Google and YouTube ads is it has 3 times the scale of Facebook. You can blow up really fast, but the problem is your current funnel and your current numbers are not compatible with scale, and the current copywriting probably isn't going to work on AdWords because you have to have really good copy. Look, it's very simple. Your funnel is not optimized, and your copy and conversions need to be higher if you want to unlock scale. What you're doing with those right now are not going to scale based on just what we've seen on the countless funnels that we've scaled with Alex's programs and the countless students we've helped doing it. Now, look, the product price, the payment plans, the refunds are just also excessive. We're going to look at the things that we diagnose are wrong. And the main reason Alex is able to scale isn't just his ads. It's because the funnel and the product maximize the revenue. That maximized revenue is where the profit and scale come from. All right? And without this, his webinars and our students' webinars wouldn't scale. It just wouldn't. So it's going to be very hard for you to do this as well. And if you combo what you're doing with the trial and error of taking this to Google Ads and losing money, can you see exactly how trying to reach your goal of 250K a month is going to be very hard to do? You're trying to scale something that is not set up in the position to be scaled. Do you see how that would be difficult? Yes. Okay. And if we total up how much you have the gain right now by moving the AdWords, also with how much you're just losing by default by not having your payment plans and everything set up, this is a $30,000 low end. And we were only working with the low end numbers that you agreed on. I don't like using big blown up numbers. We see students do way more than this. We see Alex do way more than this. But let's just work with the lowest number. This is already losing you a potential gain and loss of $30,000 a month. Is that reasonable? Do you see this right here? We want them to say yes. If they don't say yes, say, all right, well, I mean, how is it not? We get them to say yes. And so what we're getting them to do right here is admit that there is a problem. And they have it, and it's specific, and we're the only ones who get it. Okay, but dude, let's look at the solution. Now we're going to show them the solution, how easy it is. Look, I wasn't trying to be all gloomy, and the good news right here is if we just tweaked a few things, this could do a 180 almost instantly. Look, we can unlock more scale. Even on Facebook, where you're already at right now. Let's just look at a few solutions right here and the problems you have. Look, if you went out there and improved the copy to hit 50% harder and make you 50% more sales, that's not huge. That's just 3% on a webinar to 4.5%. Man, how much more money would you make on your current revenue? I mean, you're making $50,000 a month right now. You probably make 60, 70 just by fixing that one little thing. And then scaling on ads would be really easy because the key to scaling ads is the ads have to make a lot of money. And that will give you that profit margin scale. Okay, what would happen right now with your current business if people just completed their payment plans and refunds dropped? Wait for the number. Okay, then again, scaling would be easy because that would open up so much more profit margins for you to scale with. Which then brings us to AdWords. And overall, the point of this call, getting this offer on the AdWords. Look, you can totally bring this business to AdWords. Your offer is good. Alex literally has multiple clients with a very similar offer to yours that are scaling on AdWords. You saw them on the call. You saw the results. You just need your funnel to make more money than it is right now, and that copy needs to generate more value per lead when people come in. Okay? And the only thing I think is actually stopping you is, and the only thing stopping you from getting on AdWords, as I warn you, you're probably going to lose 5 figures testing and learning. That's just usually what we see with people who go and do this on their own. Alex lost nearly $100,000 figuring it all out, and he's probably lost multiple $100,000 with all of his tests and learning from the last 3 years. But the good news is, can you imagine how much more money you would make? You'd have the entire pie to yourself since you'd be one of the few businesses actually running on AdWords successfully with this type of offer. And you just have this entire pie to yourself. And do you see that? Is it fair to say that if you got on AdWords right now and you just got 20% of the results you're doing currently with your business, you could make an extra $10,000, $20,000 a month? And get a number they agree on. How much more money could you make if you brought this on AdWords and you got it going? Get them a number and say, look, because I don't want to work with crazy large numbers, let's even cut this in half. Is that an agreeable number? Yeah. Okay. At this point, we need to get them to ask for help because we made them see, like, look, if you just fix these problems and got this on AdWords, it's going to work. You just need to fix these problems. And so that's what I would suggest doing. Now, all those things are a little tough, but once Alex nailed those things, his business blew past 1.4 million in a month in like 3 months of launching the funnel. That's how he got to 200,000 so quickly. And more importantly, we've cloned it over and over and over to similar businesses, and they've got nutty results. So we know this is where the problems are at for you. This is the things you need to fix. So I'm really confident if you fix those problems, you're going to have a big boom. The thing is, I'm sure you already sort of knew these things. Is anything stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from going and applying everything we talked about in this call? The copy, the ads? If you had these things, you'd be scaling and growing this on AdWords really easily. What's preventing it? So at this point in time, 3 things are going to happen. One, they're just going to say, man, I don't understand how to do this, and I'm probably going to need help doing it. If so, we're going to move on to the next step. If they mumble something like, I don't know about the copywriting or ads, you want to say something like, I mean, that's a tall order. How do you plan to accomplish that? How do you plan to do it on your own? And they're gonna say I don't really know how to do it on my own. You say, okay, cool. Do you want our help with that? You're gonna say yes. If they say there's nothing stopping me, say, okay, awesome, thanks. I'm glad you get all this, and you're gonna be able to go execute on that. So I'm gonna wrap up the call. Do you have any other questions on these funnels or what's doing it? And so at that point, that we're gonna throw them into a cycle where until they say yes. I need help doing this. They're going to say, well, I mean, can you explain the funnel more? I say, well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the funnel. It's a really complicated process. You know, you said nothing's stopping you. How do you plan on accomplishing making that funnel convert better? You didn't even know a lot of your numbers early on the call. We're going to use their specific pains and throw it back at them. And they say, well, I don't know. And you say, well, how do you plan to accomplish this? I don't know. Well, do you want our help with that? Yes. And so that's how you cycle a person that says nothing's stopping me. You say, thanks for your time. All right, wrapping up the call. Do you have any questions about the funnel or anything in particular? They're going to give you a question and say, okay, I mean, the funnels, all the things we covered are really complicated. You know, it'd be really hard to explain this entire call. How do you plan on going out there and making your funnel convert higher? And just keep asking them, you know, how do you plan to accomplish that? How is that going to work out? How is that one little fix going to take you to $250K a month, dude? When they say, I don't know, and you say, how do you plan to accomplish it on your own? They say, I don't know. You say, well, you want our help with that? And they say, yes. So next step, this is where we start to close. So we've gone through the entire process right here. We went and diagnosed their pain, got them to feel massive pain. We showed them the solutions, and now we're taking them to the point where they've said, yes, I need help. Now we're going to close them by offering this specific solution. Okay? So what you want to do at this point, move the pitch deck over, or you don't want to have the pitch slides showing. Okay, you don't want to have the pitch slides showing. You say, all right, well, here's the thing. Alex usually only works with businesses spending $150,000 a month on ads, or take whatever their ad spend is and double it. If they're making over $100,000, $250,000 a month, don't say that. Just say like, he only usually works with business, or just say something like, he works with businesses your size, okay? And so that's a good fit right there. And the good news is, regardless of what we said right here, your problem is not with your business. It's just the dials in the funnel. If we applied the same dials and the same things that Alex is doing on his webinars, this is actually pretty easy. Would you want help doing that? Okay? So here's the thing. Alex usually only works with businesses spending over $150,000 a month on ads. You either fit the bill or you don't fit the bill. However, the thing that really stands out about your business is your problem is not with the business. It's just the dials in the funnel. It's just the specific things you're doing in the funnel. If we applied those specific things that Alex is doing on his funnels and we've done to our students' funnels, this is actually a pretty easy win. Would you want help doing that? Okay, cool. Well, you know, Alex actually has this coaching program called the Iron Blueprint. And the thing is, he doesn't even advertise this on his site. You can't even find this anywhere. So you kind of have to be on one of these calls, and this is kind of how people have joined this program, because he doesn't even really talk about it. And here's exactly what it is. We're just basically going to clone what happened here with Google Ads to your business. You can see Alex went from 0 to almost $200,000 a month, well over $200,000 a month when you include PayPal. And in 30 days, he was able to actually start scaling this almost nearly to $1.4 million a month, as you can see right here. And you can see exactly the results people have gotten. Leo, for example, copied exactly what Alex is doing, went from $20,000 to $150,000 a month. So here's what this is. It's 6 months group coaching. It's a 9-week course, and it focuses on micro adjustments for massive growth. AK, you don't need to spend 40 hours going through a course to get this to work. Because what's going to be going on, since these people, a lot of them are like, I don't have the time to invest. It says, look, you're going to be getting the group coaching in the group. And because it's a very exclusive group, you'll be able to talk to Alex and the live coaching calls, just like you're talking to me right here. And so what he's going to do is he's going to look at what you're doing. He's going to answer your question and say, oh, okay, cool. This is the specific part of the course you need to go look at. And you're going to be able to go and look over the shoulder as he executes the specific things you need to apply to your funnel. And here's exactly what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to maximize your product so people start completing those payment plans. Okay, that's the first thing. We're going to maximize the amount of money you make from the product. And we're going to do that by showing you how to maximize your product numbers, the price, the pay plans, the refunds for almost instant gains. We can even show you to make an entirely new product. It's a super repeatable and it's essential for scale. Now, the crazy thing about this as well is not only will we show you how to increase your pay plans and lower refunds, we'll show you to make people actually love the product too, so those things happen organically. For example, this student right here applied this to his product, was able to add over $250,000 in income to his agency or his business. And look, the money's just sitting there. You just need to adjust your product to get this. And this is the first thing we're going to apply to you. We're going to copy exactly what Alex has done and all of his students have done. Next thing, we're going to show you exactly how to replicate his funnel item by item, right down to the email delivery optimization, and get you the right structure based on your market. Look, if you're using the same copywriting, the same funnel as everybody else, you're going to get the same results as everybody else, which is extremely average and not scalable. What we're going to show you right here is this will dramatically increase the current ROI of your funnel and put you in a position where you're finally able to scale, especially with all those payment plans and refunds being mitigated. For example, this student right here took her business from 20,000 to 70 to 80,000 a month doing this. This is going to give you a huge ROI on what you're already doing right now, and this is going to allow you to unlock that scale in AdWords. And then finally, man, have you ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street where he breaks down the script that they use to go and sell hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stocks and whatnot? This is exactly what we're going to do here without selling weird stocks that don't actually work for people. Look, Alex is going to sit down and he spends 3 to 4 hours breaking down his script, and more so how you can create a unique script that actually converts. It's very templatable, but no one's going to recognize it. And the way the script is set up is not a one-size-fits-all. It applies to your specific market, which is, again, why I can't tell you what exact script to use on this call. You need to come down and you need to actually sit down and go through the script process with Alex. And again, here's the student right here, applied our scripts to what he's doing, was able to increase his income by 25% in a single day. And so now that we've gone out there and we've applied product maximization, we've applied the perfect funnel and optimized the funnel, we've applied the script, now we just take this over to AdWords. And look, Google Ads, the first key is getting your product funnel and pitch to the point of maximization. Now we're just literally going to show you exactly where to bid on AdWords. No guessing, no losing money, no testing. I'll also show you the exact type of ads to make and show you to scale it from $50 a day to $300 a day to $1,000 to $5,000. Heck, Alex has even scaled up to $25,000 a day. And we're just going to give you what's working basically on day one. And like you can see, Spencer went and applied this. He went from $20,000 a month to $20,000 a week right after applying this. Right after applying this. So what we want to do right now is we want to break down now versus after. So look, during this call, we literally agreed you have 20,000 to gain here. You're naturally just losing 20,000 default by not fixing these things. Not addressing this right now is costing you so much money. Are those again realistic numbers? They're going to say yes, yeah, because again, they agreed on the numbers. They're going to want to be congruent. And we're going to say, can you see how much you'd unlock just by getting this right and skipping all the BS testing? Can you see exactly how much more money you'd make just by getting these things all fixed? They say yes. Okay, well, the Iron Blueprint is $5,000. And when you look at the numbers right there, that's just a minor increase in conversions from your webinar. That's just unlocking minor Google scale, not going out there and getting the $20,000 a day spent, just getting $1,000 a day, $500 a day on there, easy. That's a joke to do with what Alex is doing. That's just getting 10 to 20% more of your pay plans done. Okay, that's actually just getting like 2 to 3% more of your pay plans done. And that's just copying 3 to 4 of our micro funnel optimizations. And so after we've done this, we're going to introduce the fake price. And we're going to say, all right, look, the Iron Coaching Program is $8,997. And when you really go and look at it, that if you just made a few minor increases in conversions, that's going to pay for itself 10 times over this next year. If you go and make just 1 to 3 high ticket sales, the product has already paid for itself, which is going to be easy. If you just unlock minor ad scale on AdWords, that $8,000 is paid for 10 times over instantly. That's not getting the $20,000 a day on AdWords. That's just getting like $500 a day, which is easy. That's a joke for Alex to do and show you how to do. And if you were able to go out there and get 10 and 20% more pay plans done, again, the product pays for itself 10 times over in the long term. And if you just copy 3 to 4 of our funnel optimizations, you're going to make those 1 to 3 more high ticket sales. We are looking for easy testimonial students, like I told you at the beginning of this call. And what this is a person where we can just apply these tweaks to their business and they get results really quickly. Alex likes that because it's easy for him and he gets some great testimonials. The students like it because they make a ton of money. You fit this bill because all you have to do is apply a few of these tweaks to what you're doing right here. So we find usually people that sign up on the call right away are the people that really want to come in and are eager to do this. If they're eager to do this and it's a good fit, they come in and it's always a win. So I want to help you get off the fence. And to help you get off the fence, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to allow you to get in at $5,000 instead of $8,997. That's only if you get on during this call. So what do you say? Do you want to go and save the $3,000 or $4,000? And you want to go and apply this to what you're doing? Does $5,000 work for you? Can we get started right now? And this is how we close them. And now we're going to handle objections at this point, which we can talk about, but we've already discussed so far. We've already discussed most objections. And we've created and offered them something that's super specific to their business. We've outed all of their very specific pains, and we now have them at a point where they need to sign up on this call to save $4,000. And this is exactly how I would use this script. Okay, so please, this is exactly how every script will work. The script is exactly the same across all of these scripts. Okay, except the pain points and questions are a bit different, but the format and everything is exactly the same. So please go through this, watch all this. We need to get this script in place because we're not going to unlock the scale if we're losing these few extra yeses that we need to actually make this really, really, really super profitable. Because the profits at their current point are not going to stay where they are. It's doing okay right now, but at scale, it's not going to do okay. We need to get a few more yeses out of these people that are saying no right now, and this is exactly how we're going to do it, by giving them a specific solution to only their specific problems that only we can solve, and we're the only people that can solve the problem or understand that. That's our unique selling point. Okay, so go through this, let me know, and this is what I have for you guys today.